like hardcover, softcover, different pages, that kind of stuff. So I thought that would be fun, and I actually kind of put my own little spin on it and decided I would pick out books where I feel that the covers are like extra beautiful or extra intriguing, like beautiful cover art type of books. So let's jump in with the first book, which you guys will have seen before, but it has to be in this because of the beautiful cover art. So we've got Jane Austen's Mansfield Park. Mansfield Park, and of course it has beautiful gilded pages, and these absolutely stunning, like, country roses. Mansfield Park. Spine is beautiful. It says shy young Fanny Price is sent to live with wealthy relatives at Mansfield Park, where of her 4 cousins only Edmund shows her any real kindness. When the wealthy, flirtatious Henry Crawford and his vivacious sister Mary arrive in the neighborhood, Fanny's world is thrown into disarray. Edmund falls under the spell of Mary, while Henry declares his love for Fanny, but the path to happiness doesn't run smoothly. So these pages are like very glossy and thick, and because the book is brand new, they're all kind of still stuck together from when the pages were cut. So they have like a crispy sort of flip to them. Like that. But they don't really flip, like this that well compared to some of the other like paperback non-glossy pages, I would say. But of course they're extra beautiful with the gilded edges. I mentioned last time I talked about this book that there was like a whole series of the Jane Austen books printed with these different floral patterns and the black background and the gold writing. I want the whole thing. Oh my gosh, like, they were all so beautiful. I think the Pride and Prejudice one had pink flowers, and then Persuasion had blue flowers, and Emma had yellow flowers. I can't remember the rest, but they were so cool. Okay, let's do a paperback. So this cover is like smooth, like almost feels like suede, kinda. It makes like that hollow kind of tapping sound, which is kind of fun. Like waxy kind of, I would say. Like it feels almost like it's covered in, like dipped in wax. So this is the girl from the tea garden. Which I picked because I absolutely love this cover. I think the cover art on this is so pretty. So like, first of all, her hairstyle, gorgeous. I love this paisley lacy pattern kind of going over the side here. And then I think this background, like the jungle, like kind of mountainous jungle with the lake behind her and the shrubs right here, her golden outfit, and then we've got the little airplanes up in the clouds. I just really like the cover art. I feel like it draws you in. So pretty. So it says, she's half the world away, but her heart remains in India. In the dying days of the Raj, Anglo-Indian schoolgirl Adella Robson dreams of a When she sneaks away from school in the back of handsome Sam Jackman's car, she knows a new life awaits, but it is not the one she imagined. In Simla, the summer seat of the Raj government, Adella throws herself into all the dazzling entertainments 1930s Indian society can offer a beautiful debutante. But just as her ambitions seem on the cusp of becoming reality, she meets a charming but spoiled prince, setting in motion a devastating chain of events. The outbreak of the Second World War finds Adella back in England, a country she cannot remember, without hope or love, and hiding a shameful secret. Only exceptional courage and endurance can pull her through these dark times and carry her back to the homeland of her heart. Okay, so let's see. I've got to keep my piles of books straight. The ones we've done, the ones we haven't done. Let's do this vintage Agatha Christie. So I love this cover art. It's so unique, and like this lady on the front, you're like, what's going on with her? She's got all these jewels and got a crown, and there's a humongous like castle in the background, and then on this side you've got the airplane going over and the army helmet. I just feel like it's like a really intriguing cover art. Agatha Christie. Passenger to Frankfurt. Not sure why I was thinking of passport. Maybe the airplane. It says, in the airport lounge at Frankfurt, a British diplomat meets a beautiful young woman in fear for her life, and together they enter a sinister world of intrigue and death. Agatha Christie, world-famed author of 81 books, which have sold over 400 million copies, now writes the best-selling mystery novel of her entire career. I gotta see what year this was published. So this is the second printing, printed in January of 1972. 1972. Yeah, I'm totally getting 70s vibes from this cover. And these pages are like super tiny, and the print is absolutely tiny. They do flip nicely, and they're very like scratchy pages. Scratchy pages. Okay, let's do another hardback. So this one, I just feel like this cover is so magical. Like, I immediately wanted to pick it up and be like, what is this about? I love the tree, I love the fireflies in the background, and how it's like kind of a luminous, like, darkness going through the forest with all the bright green undergrowth. It's called Bellwether by Dennis Mahoney, author of Fellow Mortals. Fellow Mortals, I don't know that book. So these pages, I don't know if you can tell, but they're very rough cut. They're all kind of different and very rough cut. But there's like a really cool map on the inside here. So this down here is called the Ceaseless Ocean. The Ceaseless Ocean. And this whole land is called Heraldia. Up here is the ocean. Over here with the pirate ship, we have the eccentric ocean. Down here is the solar ocean. Nocturnal ocean is up here. So that's kind of neat. I'll read you the inside. It says, a thrilling adventure set in a peculiar world. A fantastical 18th century in which a young woman must uncover the secrets of her past while confronting the present dangers of a magical wilderness. When Tom Orange rescues a mysterious young woman from a flooded river, he senses that their fates will deeply intertwine. At first, she claims to remember nothing, and rumor animates Root, an isolated settlement deep in a strange wilderness. Benjamin Knox, the town doctor, attends to her recovery and learns her name is Molly. As the town inspects its young visitor, she encounters a world teeming with wonders and oddities. She also hears of the Maimers, masked thieves who terrorize the surrounding woods. As dark forces encircle the town, the truth of Molly's past spills into the present. A desperate voyage, a genius brother, a tragedy she hasn't fully escaped. Molly and Tom must then decide between surviving apart or risking everything together in the spellbinding conclusion of Bellwether, an otherworldly and kinetic story that blends history and fantasy, mystery and adventure to mesmerizing effect. That was a pretty great cover synopsis. These pages feel like parchment, kind of parchmenty pages. Okay, so let's see the next one. Let's do this one. This is like a young adult. Stravaganza, City of Masks. This is a whole series, but of course I picked it because of the fabulous, sparkly cover. Immediately when I was a kid and I saw this on the shelf, I was like, oh my gosh, Mom, can I have that? It turned out to be a fabulous book. The whole series is really good. It's one of the books that finally made me realize I like reading when I was a kid. I don't think that there's a synopsis, which is annoying. There's a cool quote at the beginning, though. Every time I describe a city, I am saying something about Venice. Every man conceived in his mind a high contentation. Every time we came into the Duchess's sight, neither was there any that thought it was not the greatest pleasure he could have in the world to please her, and the greatest grief to offend her. So this is like praise for the book. It says Hoffman has created a viable alternative world with a Venice that is not quite Venice, but that still retains all the romance associated with exquisite masquerades and court politics. Luciano's dilemma is wholly convincing, and the atmosphere of the decadent, elegant city that worships the sea is deftly evoked. There's a cool map in this one, too. It's by Mary Hoffman. I have to see what year this came out, because I can't remember, but I think I was maybe 12 when I read it. Copyright 2002, but this edition was published 2004. I was born in 91, so that's about right. I read it fairly soon after it came out. But I love Venice down there, and the mask is all glittery. It's just really cool. Okay, so the next one, let's do this. The The Boys in the Boat. I love the cover. The tapping is so nice. It's got kind of one of those waxy feeling covers. And I love the picture. The cover art picture is so pretty. This is a big rowing shell. These are about 60 feet long. Then you have the coxswain right here. That's what I used to do. In college, I was a coxswain on the men's rowing team. So they sit right here and they steer. This is the back of the boat. This is the front. And then there's 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 rowers, and they are facing backwards. Their backs are to the front, so that's why this coxswain back here is steering the boat. They can't see. The rowers can't see where they're going. The boys in the boat. 9 Americans and their epic quest for gold at the 1936 Berlin Olympics by Daniel James Brown. So it says, an irresistible story about beating the odds and finding hope in the most desperate of times. Out of the depths of the Depression comes the improbable, intimate account of how 9 working-class boys from the American West showed the world at the 1936 Olympics in Berlin what true grit really meant. With rowers who were the sons of loggers, shipyard workers, and farmers, the University of Washington's 8-oar crew was never expected to defeat the elite teams of the East Coast and Great Britain, yet they did, going on to shock the world by challenging the German boat rowing for Adolf Hitler. The emotional heart of the tale lies with Joe Rance, a teenager without family or prospects, who rose not only to regain his shattered self-regard, but also to find a real place for himself in the world. Drawing on the boy's own journals and vivid memories of a once-in-a-lifetime shared dream, Brown has created an unforgettable portrait of an era, a celebration of a remarkable achievement, and a chronicle of one extraordinary young man's personal quest. Alright, so let's see. The next one is a murder mystery. I love this cover. I know it's hard to see, but can you see through the fog and the mist? This like creepy looking mansion back here through the craggly trees. It's got some columns at the front and lots of windows. A big double front door. I think it's very inviting. Like if you like spooky, like murder mystery type books, I think it looks like the perfect book to cozy up and read in like an October evening. Maybe by the fireplace. It says The Death of Mrs Westway. The Death of Mrs Westway. By Ruth Ware. So this cover is like plasticky. It feels very plasticky. Like it's coated in like a plastic, a harder plastic. And these pages are like very gritty feeling, like very unrefined paper. Which is kind of nice. So, on a day that begins like any other, Hal receives a mysterious letter bequeathing her a substantial inheritance. She realizes very quickly that the letter was sent to the wrong person, but also that the cold reading skills she honed as a tarot card reader might help her claim the money. Soon, Hal finds herself at the funeral of the deceased, where it dawns on her that there is something very, very wrong about this strange situation and the inheritance at the center of it. super pretty. The Story Collector by Evie Woods. I loved this book so much. But the cover art is what drew me in. It was like, oh, what's that about? Because I loved the cover art so much. Okay, in a quiet village in Ireland, a mysterious local myth is about to change everything. 100 years ago, Anna, a young farm girl, volunteers to help an intriguing American visitor translate fairy stories from Irish to English. But all is not as it seems, and Anna finds herself at the heart of a mystery that threatens her very way of life. In present-day New York, Sarah Harper boards a plane bound for the west coast of Ireland, but once there she unearths dark secrets that could change the course of her life. So these pages are super smooth and like bleached, I'm guessing, because they're very white, like much more white than normal book paper. But this cover is like super smooth and it's got a nice kind of hollow sound. The little gold embellishments have like little raised ridges. The texture feels like really nice when you're holding the book to read it. So we have two more books. We have a hardback and another paperback. So we'll do the hardback first. This hardback is fabric. The cover is fabric, which is really cool. This is Treasure Island. It is a illustrated copy of Treasure Island. So we've got some little illustrations on the front. And then the ship is really cool. It's got gold, some palm trees, the water, the parrot, of course. And I love this like minty green color. It's so pretty. We've got pirate's gold all along the back. So these are super smooth, thick pages with illustrations. I love that the illustrations are in color, because a lot of these kind of books, they have illustrations but they're like black and white, which isn't as entertaining. And up front here there's a big picture of the ship, which is cool. But I love the texture of the fabric. It's by Robert Louis Stevenson. I don't think there's a synopsis for me to read you. I wish there was, though. Treasure Island is, of course, a fabulous story. Most people probably know it, so. Oh, here, this is cool. It says, to the hesitating purchaser. If sailor tales, to sailor tunes, storm and adventure, heat and cold. If schooners, islands, and maroons, and buccaneers, and buried gold, and all the romance retold, exactly in the ancient way can please, as me they pleased of old, the wiser youngsters of today, so be it, and fall on, if not. If studious youth no longer crave, his ancient appetite forgot, Kingston, or Balathane the brave, or Cooper of the wood and wave, would share the grave where these and their creations lie. Part 1, The Old Buccaneer. My husband absolutely adores this book. That's why I got him an illustrated copy. He loves all the movies too. He even loves, I forget what it's called, but it's like Treasure Island, but it happens in like a futuristic setting. Alright, we have one more book left, and it is called Iron Lake. And it's by William Kent Kruger. But look at the lake and the frostiness around and the forest, like the dark sky. I just thought it looked like the perfect winter cozy reading. Art on the front. I would totally be drawn in by this and want to pick it up on a nice cold winter day. So I will read you. Let's see. No, there's no synopsis. Let's see if there's one in the front. Okay, so part Irish and part Anishinaabe Indian, Cork O'Connor is the former sheriff of Aurora, Minnesota, population 3,752. Once a cop on Chicago's south side, there's not much that can shock him. But when the town's judge is brutally murdered and a young Eagle Scout is reported missing, Cork takes on this complicated and perplexing case of conspiracy, corruption, and a small-town secret that hits painfully close to home. So this cover is kind of a suede feeling. It's very soft. And I like the big pages. There's lots of space in between the lines, which makes it easier to read. It's got nice grippy sounds. Alright guys, well that was the last book I had to share with you today.